What's up, Starcraft fans? Last time we learned how to play level 1 Carax. This time we will learn how to play level 1 Abathur. So, Abathur obviously is extremely powerful at level 15, but the way you play him at mastery levels is probably different from how you want to play him at lower levels. And the reason why is because his ultimate evolutions require a lot of symbiote ability proven mastery to be truly effective on the battlefield. So, when you're leveling, obviously unlock ultimate evolutions will be pretty good level 2. They're pretty good, but they're not map beating. You cannot beat the map yet at level 2 using just ultimate evolutions. You can, but you need to be really good. Level 3, as you're leveling, level 3 is pretty good, but it's only going to be really effective once you get your full kit as Abathur. So 2 and 3, really good, but not really impactful as you're leveling. As you're leveling, level 4 is probably more impactful because it will affect your strategy for how to actually play Abathur at lower levels. Level 5, pretty good all across the board, whether you're leveling or you're at mastery level. Level 6, also pretty good at all levels of Abathur. Level 7, same. 8 is pretty good once you're more higher up on the skill. The Viper is a very skill-based unit. It'll depend really of the player how good the Vipers are. This one, Infestation Pit Upgrade Cache, is probably one of the biggest available upgrades for Abathur, especially once you have Tunneling Horror. Once you have Tunneling Horror, this is probably going to be your favorite upgrade, since you're just going to be massing swarm hosts, and it will allow you to deep tunnel to any location. But even before then, your swarm hosts will probably be already really good. Symbiote, again, this is the same as levels 2 and 3. These are really good once you hit your full mastery level as Abathur, but at lower levels, it's not quite impactful just yet. It's pretty good, but not quite as good as mastery level Abathur. Spy Upgrade Cache, pretty good across all levels. Mutagenic Potential, this will make your Ravagers more affordable, so pretty good as you're leveling. This is funny. I actually consider this one a nerf to Abathur. This one is a debuff to Abathur because it will make luring enemies to your toxic nests more difficult. Because instead of chasing your spore crawler, once the enemies start attacking your locust, they will de-aggro to your spore crawler. That means they'll no longer follow your spore crawler to the rest of your toxic nests. Of course, what I mean by that is that how you want to play as Abathur at mastery level is by rushing out ultimate evolutions. And it's really difficult because of locust injection. It just messes you up sometimes. Bile, pretty good, yeah. Even at mastery levels, still pretty good. Biotically, although obviously you'll want ultimate illusions, but Vials on their own, regardless of prestige, really good. This one will allow Abathur to out-heal Black Death, so it's pretty good also. So as you're leveling, the ones that will give you a power spike are levels 4, maybe 6, definitely 4, maybe 9 if you are that good of a player. Or level 8 rather, definitely level 9. So yeah, the biggest one is probably 4, then 9, then 12, then 5, yeah, and then the rest are pretty close to each other. But this was probably, yeah, you probably want to start playing on Brutal once you hit level 4 or for Abathur, because that's when you get the really good upgrades for Roach Ravager. So as you may have guessed, the strategy for Abathur at level 1 will be mass Roaches and Ravagers. And the lesson for today is Rapid Fire. So if you want to learn an in-depth lesson on Rapid Fire, you can just Google or you can search on YouTube. There are a couple of videos. I learned Rapid Fire from a guy named Jack Attack way back in 2014 or something like that. But Loco also has a video, so do check him out as well for a more in-depth lesson. But what it comes down to is Rapid Fire is a hotkey trick. In its core, it's a hotkey trick that allows you to spam abilities by using the repeat rate of your keyboard. So if you're familiar with using keyboards, which I hope you are, when you hold down a single key, for example, if you hold down the G key on the notepad or Word file, the G will hit once. You'll see one G, and then after like half a second, it'll start spamming Gs across the document to the next line. It'll just keep spamming Gs until you release the G key. So that's what the rapid fire is all about. The number of Gs there will essentially be the number of times you use the G ability. So how that will work is by assigning the hotkey to the hotkey for left click to that one key on your keyboard, so that instead of having to click many times really fast, clicking requires some force, and it's clicking really fast can get tiring, but holding down the key on your keyboard is not as tiring. So that's the strength of rapid fire. You can spam orders with a single key press, rather than clicking really fast, and that's the power. Yeah, that's really the power of rapid fire. So how you do that essentially is you go to the global again. So menu, hotkeys, global, go to unit management, choose ability or AI target. So you just find the hotkey that you use the most. For the purpose of Abathur, you can go to Zerg, go to Ravager, find which key you use for corrosive bile. For me, it's I. For standard, it's probably C. I think it's C for standard. So take note of that key. Go to global, unit management, choose ability air target, and then assign C as your alternate key. Or if you want to assign multiple files, if you want to assign multiple hotkeys to your rapid fire, you have to go to a notepad file in your profiles. Jack Attack's guide has that lesson if you want to assign multiple hotkeys, but that's not the focus. The focus is how to play Abathur. So let's get to it. Thank you to Legendary Sinner, who is supporting me the Mobilization Wave tier, and Darth and Shadow Archon, who are supporting me the Pulse Cannon tier. And thank you to all my supporters on Patreon. We will be on Void Thrashing, and we have selected the Maguro map just to make it easier for me to pick the enemy composition, and so that I don't have to look for an ally, and yeah, to make it a real solo. Anyway, okay, Brian, tell us about Void Thrashing, please. Brian. Yoo-hoo.
Void Thrashing is the map where we have to destroy 10 Void Thrashers before they destroy Sergeant Hammer's completely useless fortress.
That is true.
Each set we destroy reveals the next, unless we take too long and they spawn anyway.
Alright, so basically we're on a timer here. The Void Thrashers will spawn at some point, and we have to destroy them before they destroy the fortress. So you'll see here the fortress. Yeah, come on, reveal the fortress, Miss Hammer. It's right here. It's right here. The Thrashers, as you see, spawn from these void rifts. They will, start spawning at some point. And we can either force the spawn early by destroying their escorts, or just wait for them to spawn. So you can see this is Sergeant Hammer's fortress. It has 4,000 health. So the Void Thrashers will start shooting at this fortress once they spawn. And we have to destroy those Thrashers before this fortress is gone. So my build here, as you can see, I'm just getting, just macroing up, just making... This is lesson number 1. Basically, lesson number 1. Just keep making stuff. Max out your economy before really going heavy on your forces. So, just harvesting for now, making a lot of workers. My Roach Warren's on the way. That'll be pretty helpful. You can see I've started a Toxic Nest here. So, how you expand as Abathur is you put down a Toxic Nest here at your expansion, and then you send 2 workers, and once you have enough money, you plop down 2 Spine Crawlers, and they will target down these rocks for you. If they don't target it manually, or if you don't target automatically, you can right-click them manually. Like you see, I put down a couple of Toxic Nests over here so they can intercept the attack force. These Toxic Nests will allow me to defend early without having to get forces, so I can concentrate all my resources on building workers and expanding my economy. And you can see I'm just using my Toxic Nests right away so that they'll refill. At level 1, they cap at 5 Toxic Nests, and they spawn on a timer. So if you don't use them, you basically lose them. So you can see I'm just kind of using these so that I'll keep the timer running it'll gain more toxicness over time. It's a 3-minute attack wave. So Void Thrashing has 2 attack wave patterns. Pattern A starts at 3 minutes and it comes from the east side. Pattern B starts at 4 minutes and it starts from the north side. You can see I'm still making workers. I'm not worried about the attack wave because my toxicness are good. You can see that I switched off Autocast, so you'll see here, if you focus on the bottom right of the screen, right beside me, I think it's over there. You can see it's off Autocast. The explode is off Autocast, and I did that by right-clicking this button right here. So select the toxicness and then right-click this button right here, so that it won't automatically detonate. The benefit of not automatically detonating is you can allow the enemy to really stand over at the optimal time before he detonates. It's like a bailing landmine, basically. You want to detonate it when it's gonna have the most possible damage, rather than the first opportunity it gets. So you can see these derps walking forward. So it could have detonated right now and hurt these 2 front ones, but I'm gonna opt to wait, so I can damage 3 of them at the same time. So this one is a bit early. It's a bit unfortunate. Okay, so there's 1 left. I think this is Dark Templar composition. The good news is there's only 1 left. It's pretty low health, and that the expansion is down, so I just start my hatchery over there. I'm starting 2 roaches. I'm gonna use that to fight, but right now this thing is taking a little bit of damage, not too much. I think yeah, roaches are out now. I'm gonna bait this dirt over here, gather its biomass, and start moving. So you can see right now I'm researching this upgrade over here. Don't know what it's called, but it basically makes my corrosive bile hit more stuff. It makes the splash radius of the corrosive bile much larger, so it gets easier to hit things, and you hit more things, basically. I'm moving. You can see once I've finished using my spine crawlers to bruise out the rocks, I move them here, and I morph in some Ravagers. So this is when rapid fire comes in. So if you don't use rapid fire, what you will likely do is select one of these Ravagers, use a hotkey or click the corrosive bile manually, and you'll try to click as fast as you can. Click, 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 click. And that's going to be tiring. Instead, you can see I have set my hotkey for corrosive bile at I, and my rapid fire key also is bound to I, which means all I have to do is press I. So once you press the hotkey for the corrosive bile, it will ask you to select a target. And once you have that, I can also use the same key I, target. So instead of watch my mouse here, watch the cursor. Instead of clicking the key, instead of clicking this and then clicking back here, it's gonna take a lot of aiming and it's gonna waste valuable time. And it's gonna be real difficult because stuff tends to move around. Instead, what I do is just put my cursor on the target. I just put my mouse there and just hold down the key for corrosive bile, because again, the key for corrosive bile is the same as for rapid fire. So what will happen is I press I, which will be the trigger to start for the computer to start asking me where I want to aim, and then since the I is held down, it will then left click basically where my cursor is, which is at that Zealot. So what actually happens is I just hold down I while mousing over the Zealot, and they will target that with corrosive bile. Pretty easy. Instead of having to click, all I have to do is keep my mouse cursor here. Yeah, I just keep my mouse cursor there at one spot, and just hold down I. That's really the magic of rapid fire. It just makes micro a lot easier. It makes it a lot easier for you to target stuff without having to click fast. It saves you valuable energy and attention. You see, I'm trying to... Yeah, the upgrade is completed. Unfortunately, it still missed because that Zot got aggroed. The good news is I can have more of that. So you see, trying to shoot the enemies. I'm gonna morph in more of these Ravagers. They are morphing. I'm gonna try to target the middle of that area. See, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I don't actually need to. Click really fast manually. All I have to do is hold down the eye. I just hold down the eye and just mouse over what I want to die. Yeah, just hold down I, mouse over what you want to die. Yeah, just mouse over there. You don't have to move the mouse around because the left click is basically the same as your hotkey for attack or for your ability. So just all you have to do is hold down I. Again, you still use the same lessons from level 1, or from lesson 1, which is just continue making stuff until you don't anymore have the money for it. Try to move around because I'm trying to stall that Void Thrasher by using my Ravagers to attack it. So when it's fighting my Ravagers, it's not shooting at the fortress, and that is really important. It's buying me time to get more forces out without this thing attacking the fortress. That's really important. Oh, looks like I'm also going for queens. That's awesome. The queens are good here because they're healers. So it's like your medic. Except it mass heals. See, you can see it's just yeah, it's on Autocast. The mass transfuse in Autocast. It just keeps healing, which is pretty good. See, I'm getting more overlords, getting roach speed. I unfortunately missed rally that roach over there. It's kind of bad. So this attack wave sometimes attacks through here, sometimes attacks through here. So I'm just gonna put these guys somewhere along the middle and watch this attack wave. Watch this dot on the minimap where it's going. So I can see that it's actually going to my main base. So I circle around back and try to fight over here. The good news is I still have some of these toxic nests left over, and they'll actually allow me to damage these before they actually start to fight. You can see rapid fire working wonders for me. I can spam the abilities there without having to click fast. I just hold down a single key. That's essentially fake APM, but however fake it is, it still does the job. So you just spam those abilities. Just make them shoot. I think I lost one of my Ravagers there, which is pretty unfortunate. But the good news is we are still pressing forward. Just continuously smashing Amon's forces, in Amon's face even. Lost another Ravager, unfortunate, but the reward is that I get to snipe like 2 Immortals there. Okay. Spamming these toxic nests over here. Alright. You can see I'm starting to get +2 attack and rapid fire vials on these enemies. It's pretty good even at level 1. The strategy is pretty effective even at level 1. All I have to do is keep making units. The same lesson from level 1. Using the abilities, the lesson from level 2. Using rapid fire, this week's lesson. And picking and choosing my fights. I did just charge in. I needed to bank up these guys first. That's the lesson from level 3. I have control groups, but yeah, not quite necessary. I just use the all army hotkey to control my entire army, because they don't have specialized roles that will require to be in separate control groups. I can just F2 this entire army right here. You see, there's a Dark Templar over here. I think I don't have. I think I don't have overseers yet, so I morph a couple. So what I try to do is bait that Dark Templar onto my toxic nests. Try to walk it on there, and it looks like I did succeed.
Void Thrasher has been annihilated.
I resume smashing this Void Thrasher, and I just hold down the rapid fire key. I just hold the rapid fire key, and it keeps raining down vials on Amon. Okay, the overseers have arrived. That allow me just some good detection. Okay, I'm starting plus what armor? Ah, I know why. I'm starting +1R because I don't have Hive yet, or Hive, +3 requires Hive. That makes sense. Okay. I think, yeah, that completely missed. The good news is I can just shoot more, because I've been macroing up these Ravagers, so yeah. It's a lot more straightforward than the ones I've been showing off recently. Vorazun was difficult. Zigara was difficult. Swan was difficult, but Abathur? Level 1? Yeah, just mass these Ravagers. That is pretty good. Life is pretty good, as long as you mass these Ravagers. See, it just rained down there. It's basically mobile artillery. You shoot down enemy forces, get some free damage on, bait them out, and take favorable engagements. This is the lesson from Artanis. You can see, yeah, raining down biles on those immortals. Now they're gone. Just eliminate them before they eliminate too many of your guys. Okay, I shoot these down. There we go. Now I target this carrier, I think. Yeah, I shoot down a bunch of those, yeah, a bunch of corrosive biles in that carrier. I don't quite have memorized how many corrosive bile hits I need to target down each one of these. But I do know I have enough. I'll just keep using that. See, hit a lot of these. Very nice shots. You can see the Void Thrasher killed his own Dark Templar. For some reason. Destroy that Colossus. Yeah, it's the lesson for this week is holding down the same button, because you have hold or choose ability or AR target down to it. It's the same key as your attack as your ability hotkey, and that's what you call rapid fire. Burst this down. I'm still gaining supply, by the way. I'm up to 160 supply. My economy is really kicking in. See, these bases have been mining relatively unmolested for a long while now. By the way, this is a far gas. If you want to optimize your gas harvesting, you want to put 4 workers here, or put down a town hall center a bit closer. Once again, I'm gonna bait them out, shoot a few biles, draw them in to my concave. There we go. I shoot them at a few at a time. Egypt there. Yeah, just bait him in. You can see that they don't have a concave advantage. They also walk into me, and they have copy it, so that's all I need. Look at that, pretty good. Amon knows how to dodge a lot of stuff, but not corrosive biles. Amon does not know how to dodge corrosive biles. See, I'm just bursting these down, and the Void Thrashers are out. Okay, I've dropped down to 168 supply. I'm slowly losing some forces, but for the most part, my army is still pretty much intact. Okay, there's an attack wave here, so I've elected to intercept that attack wave. It's heading to my allies' expansion, so I rally my army here, the expansion. So I have plenty of time. The fortress still has 1,000 health remaining, so I can choose to intercept that attack wave, make sure my ally stays alive. Okay, ooh, they willingly walked onto those. Okay, so you can see that targeting important units. You can see those disruptors would have destroyed my entire army had I let them live. So I just targeted down all those disruptors. Make sure they did not get those shots off. That was pretty important to not get those shots off. Oh, there's still one more Dark Templar over here. There's one more Dark Templar. No, 3 more. Oh wait, 2 more Dark Templar and a single observer. Okay, I have macroed back up all the way to 167 supply. So that will allow me that will give me enough strength to push into these last Thrashers. So only 3 remaining. Right click. So now I get to use the lesson we used in the Zagara video, which is just thrash and claw your way until you manage to win. So what I'm doing right now is moving myself closer enough to the Thrashers to aggro them to me instead of the fortress. So there's 200 health remaining. I'm just gonna right click these Thrashers, make sure they don't hit the fortress, and buy enough time for my army to kill them. And there's one remaining. This should be pretty easy. My supply is dwindling, but so is this Thrasher's health, and it will go down with 184 health to spare, and I'm back down to within 100 supply, but it is still accomplished. I probably could have brought in extra overseers to defend, but I was kind of short on gas. Maybe I could have brought in some spores there, more of some spore crawlers, but you can see the actual damage dealer here at 77% is the Ravager, and probably like 3/4 of that are the Corrosive Biles. That is the main damage dealer that they had. The Corrosive Biles saved me from those Disruptor hits. The Corrosive Biles allowed me to shoot down those some of those Dark Templar. Corrosive Biles allowed me to shoot down those Carriers, those Tempests, those Colossus, and just won this map for me basically. So level 1 Abathur, that's done. And yeah, as long as you know how to set up rapid fire, you'll be good. That's level 1 Abathur. Yeah, if you want to find out more about rapid fire, do check out the YouTube videos on that. Maybe Google, or maybe search like Jack Attack Rapid Fire or Local Rapid Fire. Both of those are pretty good guides for how to assign your rapid fire keys. And I will see you guys next time for Alarach level 1.